And today I'm going to reveal what the magic recipe is. That is, it's the ultimate crash diet. The quintessential bikini operation for the ego, and it is based on 3 phases, let's say, which we will elaborate on later. But basically, to deflate the ego that we have previously inflated in someone and put it in check to get rid of the nonsense is to show them, right? Aren't you as wonderful as you think you are? Yes, I am much more wonderful than you thought. And there are people who are realizing it. These are the 3 phases. But how is this put into practice? How do we go through these phases? What do we have to do? Well, we're going to talk about all of this today. And the first thing, which is also common sense, is to make this person stop believing they are a god or goddess to you. To bring them down from the pedestal so they don't feel above you. Because until they see you as an equal, they won't see you as a potential partner, nor will they believe it's worth making efforts to be with you. They will simply let themselves be loved, allow themselves to receive, and that ego will be increasingly nourished at your expense. And it's already well nourished. The problem is that here we often believe that we gave a lot of positives, and now to lower the ego, we have to give negatives. It's like until now I praised you, I was attentive, everything seemed great to me. Well, now you're going to find out. I'm going to deflate your ego by making you see that I am indeed aware that you have flaws, highlighting the bad things you have, or by acting inconsiderately. Being upset with you, and this is not the crux of the matter. Believe me, it is much more effective to simply stop certain actions to lower the ego. What are these actions that we need to start cutting off? Of course, that's right. No more compliments, no more praises, and above all, no more giving importance to the person. How? For example, stop keeping track of this person's schedule, of this person's life. And you constantly demonstrate this to them, making them see through the type of questions you ask, through the way you communicate, that you actually remember even the smallest details. This person tells you. And not only do you remember it, but you also give it excessive importance. If this person tells you they've had a little problem at work and that maybe next Thursday you can solve it, you'll be the one on Wednesday night saying, hey, good luck for tomorrow. And on Thursday, how did it go? How did it go? Well, that's it. It's over. The days of knowing every little detail and being attentive are over. The days of bending over backwards to ingratiate ourselves with this person are over. The days of agreeing with them on everything, laughing at all their jokes, and taking every little opportunity to give them a compliment are over. It's about, in fact, treating this person like any other mortal. This doesn't mean that we have to become unpleasant or terse in our words, or that if they tell us something, we have to be curt. No, because then their ego might interpret, what's happening with this person is that they're upset, that it hurts them not to receive more from me, that I'm so incredible, right? What you tell this person is, no, nothing's wrong with me, I'm fine, I don't have any problem. It's just that lately it seems that this enchantment, this magic you used to awaken in me, well, you're not awakening it. And this, when we do it well, and it's about doing it well since it's something that is subtle at first, it's going to require some time, right? That is not because one day you don't give this person 100,000 compliments, or you don't tell them you've noticed something, or show them that you're not paying attention to something. As you maintain a polite and pleasant demeanor, they won't notice in 1 day, they won't notice in 2. But precisely the fact that they don't notice so quickly shows that you're doing it right. As I say, you're in that subtle margin where, on a subconscious level, they will start to feel that something is missing, that something is wrong. And at first, they won't know exactly what it is. And this is good because it will make them think about it. And in the end, we want this person to also start thinking about us, to lose mental space, to spend time considering things that concern us, whatever they may be. So this person will start to notice that something is wrong. Before, when I communicated with this person, I was left with a different feeling, but I'm not sure who it is, what it is, because the person does indeed respond, remains pleasant, and sometimes might even take the initiative to reach out. As I said, it's subtle. Simply ensure that even while being friendly, you don't fall into giving compliments, praise, and effectively show that you are not entirely focused on what concerns this person, nor worrying about, I've seen this thing that I know you like. This weekend you have don't ask questions trying to find out what they did. In other words, don't show excessive curiosity or concern. Be more indifferent, but without being unpleasant or abrupt. So this will take some time, but believe me, little by little, this person, as I say, will realize that things are not the same. Why? Because you are not feeding their ego, and they were already used to the good amount of ego, right? So you'll probably notice that they will start seeking you out more, that they will engage in more conversation with you because they won't quite understand what's happening here, right? But here's what comes next. First, I show you, or you start to feel that you're not that important. And now the next thing is to teach you that I am indeed important. How? And I have to show this person's ego that I have a life beyond him or her. No more planning my schedule with hopes of, and the phase of getting ahead begins. That is to say, not only am I not going to meet up with these friends I had the option to meet, just in case this person suggests at the last minute on Friday that we see each other or some plan comes up, or I'm not going to meet up because sometimes I'm so focused on this person that I don't feel like it, or I don't have the energy to engage with other people because I want to be there, right? I want to be waiting for him. It's sad, but it's true. Well, that's over. You have to fill your schedule. You have to make plans so that even if this person contacts you at the last minute on Friday, like, hey, how's it going? Do you feel like meeting up? Shall we grab a drink? Or merely contacts you because they have some time to chat, you don't have time. You don't have time because you have plans. You have a life. So instead of attending to their messages, and if that person doesn't have plans, having all the time to chat with them, or instead of rushing to their house because they said, come over and we'll watch some TV and we all know what comes next, no. When this person writes to you, well, you'll take the time you need, the hours you need, and at most, well, maybe, hey, I'll send you a photo. I don't even bother to write you a message giving you a rundown of what I'm doing, like, oh, well, look, I've met up with these people and went out for a drink and I'm having a great time. No. I send you a photo because it's something quick. You see there's a table, that I'm out there, that I'm having a good time. Or I send you a photo with friends having a good time and that's it. Then this person says, oh, that's nice, etc. I take ages again to see your message because I'm busy. But the point is to be genuinely busy. That is to say, obviously, if you have been inflating this person's ego, we cannot solely blame the person for acting like someone with an inflated ego. We also need to do a little exercise in self-awareness here and stop to think why. Why have I dedicated myself to inflating the ego of someone who wasn't reciprocating? Why have I allowed the situation to become so unbalanced? Why haven't I paid a little more attention to myself? And why have I often allowed myself to be so neglected or sidelined? It's over. That is to say, obviously, yes, there is a part where the actions of the other person hurt me, where I criticize that instead of valuing what I give. They are belittling me, but there is also my part. So I have to take responsibility for my part. So this phase is about showing the other person, hey, look, I have a life. I have a life beyond you. I have other interests. I have other concerns. I have other people to whom I give my time, my affection, my attention, but do it genuinely. That is to say, it's not a charade. This has to be something that also benefits you, this whole process. In other words, take advantage of this diet for the other person's ego as well, to regain more control over your life and become more responsible for your happiness. And there are many cases where nothing more will be needed. Let's say that the 3 phases are a truly radical plan of, this has become very unbalanced. You feel very superior to me. The thing is that I am there. And I have idolized you. And on the contrary, you treat me with disdain. In one case, very much like that, yes, it might be necessary. Hey, let's use the 3 phases. And this deflates the most inflated. This deflates, this is infallible, as I say. This doesn't fail. But many times it's not necessary, and it's also not about overdoing it. So here we have to keep calibrating. Many times, just going from being there, constantly attentive to the person, constantly giving them compliments, knowing their schedule, putting my life on hold, just waiting for them to contact me. When they contact me, I stop everything. And there I am. And whenever you want, however you want. And we meet where you say, when you move on from that, I'm no longer available all the time. I'm no longer going out of my way for you. I'm focusing on myself. I'm living my life and truly showing it. And I genuinely do it over a certain period of time. And doing this sincerely really lowers the ego of people, and we will notice a change. And usually we start to notice that this person begins to treat us differently. In other words, no more leaving our messages on read, no more expecting that we are always the ones to go and look for them. No more being nice when they feel like it and unpleasant when they don't. We will start to notice all these things, let's say. When we lower the ego, one of the symptoms is that the person starts to behave better again. They begin to remind us much more of how they treated us at the beginning. Because, of course, no one arrives with an already inflated ego. This is a process. So, when that ego starts to diminish, we begin to see more of the person we felt was worth it. And if we truly manage to balance the situation, and you also manage to start taking things differently and realize that it doesn't help to obsess over someone and live constantly focused on someone and around someone for this to work, but instead you also manage to stabilize yourself more emotionally, be more focused on your own things, be more independent. And this person starts to behave as they should, in a line, more balanced and contributing more on their part and taking more initiative, then this would already be enough, isn't it? Well, we still have the third phase, which is, as I said at the beginning, first I show you that you are not as wonderful to me as you think you are. I show you that I am more wonderful than you expected, in the sense that I demonstrate that I have a life and the ability to make my plans without you and go out without you and have fun without you and be happy without you. In other words, I am emotionally independent. And finally, as I said, that other people see it. And indeed, one of the things that really attacks someone's ego is experiencing jealousy. And here it doesn't have to be because someone new has come into your life. Sometimes it's enough that there is someone who is receiving our affection without knowing if they are a potential partner. That is to say, well, I don't know. Before, maybe you were always focused on finding the best plans for this person. And now you tell them about a friend who doesn't necessarily have to be of romantic interest. But there's someone there with whom, oh, you have such a great time. And how fun this person is. And how nice. And you're going to do that amazing plan with this person because you've been wanting to do it for a while. And you look forward to it with excitement. And it seems that this person will feel that all the dedication, attention, and admiration you used to give to him or her, you now give to this person. And this is deadly for the ego. And as I said, it doesn't have to be, hey, I'm having a romantic relationship with this person. No, it's enough that this person is receiving what you used to receive. And if we add intimacy to this or not, well, it's a question I allow your mind to ponder, to keep spinning around. I'm not going to understand it for you. That is, I'm not rubbing it in your face that I already have a relationship and that I'm super happy. No, that's not necessary. I simply make you see it, and not in a super blatant way. As I say, here comes the subtlety. Moreover, that is from time to time, not daily, not constantly, and not making a big deal out of it. But I woke up very excited because I have such a plan with someone. Yes, we've been planning it for a while. It's because we have this in common. We both love this, and that's why we're in sync, or some comment like that. This person understands me like no one else. From time to time, bam, 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 bam. This combined with no longer drawing attention to yourself, and with I'm happy, I can be happy without you. And on top of that, I'm giving what I used to give to someone else. This, as I say, no matter how much you inflated it before, there are no reserves that can withstand this attack plan. This works. Yes. Oh yes, I guarantee it. Well, I hope this video is useful to you, that you liked it. If so, and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, I invite you to do so, to hit the bell, because I would love for us to see each other again very soon. And until then, as always, I send you a big kiss.